Our next step is to set up our database. Our database plan reminds us what tables and columns we need, and also reminds us of the data types and lengths for each column. If you're working in Project Space, to set up your database, you need to push the Databases button. Then at the bottom, you need to create your database by giving it a sensible name and pushing Create Database. It will create some connection files, and at that point, you can go into phpMyAdmin. On the left-hand side in phpMyAdmin, you should be able to click on your database, and from there, you can go ahead and create the tables that you need. If you are using XAMPP, please go to localhost and push phpMyAdmin at the top right. If you do find yourself using XAMPP, you can make a new database from within phpMyAdmin by tapping in the database and going Create. From here, Project Space and XAMPP work in a similar way. So the first thing we're going to do is create some tables. On your computer, please set up a folder for this project, and inside, set up the subfolders that you see on your screen. You should download the raw assets from the support files area. For now, pretend you don't have the config.php file. Inside the support files, you should find an untranslatable CSV subfolder. To get my table names, I'm going to use the same names as my CSVs by copying the name, pasting it into phpMyAdmin. We have 6 columns in our CSV file, which means we need to create 6 columns in our table. What you want to do is copy each of your column names and create the columns in your table. Your first column should be ID, which is an integer, and you'll want to scroll across, and for the index, choose primary key and tick the auto increment column. Anything that's text is variable character, and our words are going to be a maximum of 75 characters, and everything else is 255 for this table. A reminder that both your language ID and your sentiment ID should be integers, and of course our example is variable character capped at 255 characters. I can then scroll down and save my table. We've got a few more tables to make, and I can do that by clicking New on the left-hand side. I can set up the 2 columns that I need, language ID, and a reminder that your first column should be a primary key, and you need to tick the auto increment box. The actual language is variable character with a maximum of 50 characters. I can then save that table. We then set up the sentiment table. Once again, we need an ID as our first column. It needs to be a primary key, and we need to remember to auto increment. Just like before, we can save that table. And if I have a look at my database, you can see that we've got 3 of the 4 tables. And here's our final table box, remembering to make the first column a primary key. It's auto incremented. Of course, we need to save. And in the next video, we're going to continue with making our website database.